From the Samsung Production Studios in the heart of Hazleton, Pennsylvania, it's your News 13.
Brought to you by SSPTV and the Standard Speaker.
Everyone acknowledges it was flawed. Now a judge will decide whether there will be a partial revote in one local election. Hazleton School Board race, take two, our top story on News 13 for this Friday. Good evening, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Kathy Baczynski. It went terribly wrong, and now Luzerne County officials are trying to make it right. Christina Papa took a trip to the courthouse yesterday to find out about Hazleton's re-election.
Candidates and the county agree that man-made mistakes may have potentially influenced the outcome of the election for Hazleton area school board candidates. The vote was close, too close for one school board member who's petitioning for a revote.
Carmela Yankiewicz and 19 other interested voters filed a petition in Luzerne County Court through their attorney, William Vinsko.
Luzerne County's election bureau didn't notify Schuylkill and Carbon counties that Hazleton's Steve Hahn withdrew his name from the race. He received around 500 votes that may have gone to other candidates. That's why 25 Luzerne County residents signed the petition for a revote. Luzerne County admits it messed up.
We are willing to take responsibility for that, and we are willing to incur the cost for any sort of re-election or any sort of process that we were to go forward with.
The petitioner's attorney, Bill Vinsko, is working with Luzerne County to fix the issue. They'll be holding a hearing to find a solution in the next couple of weeks.
There will be a hearing on June 20th at 9:30 to address any remaining issues, and hopefully we can get this matter behind us and have a special election, if you will, for the Hazleton Area School Board.
Vinsko says Luzerne County's error has left the integrity of the election law at stake. Now they're looking to find the most economical and most fair resolution for everyone involved in the election. But it doesn't come without a cost.
Luzerne County is willing to present a solution that will cost approximately $10,000. It will provide absentee ballots to the people who voted in Carbon County and Schuylkill County.
If the court doesn't want to move forward with this option, Pedri says they'll go back to the drawing board and find a more suitable resolution.
In this era of potential distrust of government, you have people that are actually stepping up and doing the right thing.
We will try to fix this as best the county will give whatever we can do to make sure that this issue is resolved.
Christina Papa, News 13, Hazleton.
The Schuylkill Chamber of Commerce has a new place to call home, and it's welcoming people to come down and see it. Schuylkill Chamber held an open house Thursday evening at its new offices in downtown Pottsville. Although they've been in the new building since January, last night was the official grand opening, and members strolled through the building to check out the new digs. The Chamber is very excited about the new location because it puts offices right in the center of everything.
We're right in the heart of Pottsville. We're conveniently located. We are right here where we can go north and south. We represent over 850 square miles in Schuylkill County for those members of the Schuylkill Chamber of Commerce. We're conveniently located. And of course, a brand new office building with a beautiful conference room and high information technology allows us to maximize our outreach and our capabilities to our members.
As you can see, everybody who came out really enjoyed the new location, and everyone's encouraged to come and take advantage of the facilities and what they have to offer. Well, it's a huge step forward. That means a quicker, less painful recovery for folks who need surgery. The Schuylkill Health Center just bought a $1 million robot that makes it easier for doctors to operate. And as Matthew Petrillo tells us, it could save patients money, too.
Articulated almost like a hand. You can spin it around, you can twist it back and forth.
Doctors here at Schuylkill Health just got a new toy.
It's going to be great for the community.
A $1.6 million robot you won't find anywhere else in town.
This instrument is really going to expand our ability to provide minimally invasive surgery.
It's called the Da Vinci, and while it kind of works like a video game, it performs like a miracle.
Patients are going to be back at work much quicker than they would otherwise. They're out of the hospital much quicker than they would be otherwise, much less pain. So it's all around less blood loss, all around just a better experience for the patient.
It works by the doctor looking into these binoculars and controlling the surgery by maneuvering a robot from just a few feet away.
And if you watch the articulation of the grasping instruments, you'll see that they pretty much mimic what my hand is doing.
Now, this technology is a lot more detailed than your conventional surgery. It uses 3D HD 1080p technology, and it's so detailed you can see something in this penny you probably have never seen before. There's Abraham Lincoln right there. It's a lot less invasive, so patients will have to spend less days in the hospital.
Instead of having something that takes 6 weeks to work with recovery in 2 weeks.
Which also means their hospital bills may decrease. Not to mention, Schuylkill Health is the only hospital in the area with one of these bad boys.
So people won't have to travel as far to, if they're a candidate for surgery with a robotic procedure. That's huge.
Now, the robotic surgery machine doesn't totally replace other more conventional ways of doing surgery, but it does give doctors and patients more options.
It's a great advancement, for the hospital and the community.
It's called Da Vinci partly because Leonardo da Vinci invented the first robot.
The two instruments that you see on the screen here are grasping instruments.
But doctors here say they're pretty sure he hasn't seen anything like this. Matthew Petrillo, News 13, Pottsville.
Well, 5 million people carry, and a quarter of those people don't even know they have it. So the question is, have you been tested for AIDS? June 27th is National AIDS Awareness Day, so a better time to be tested. Federal government recommends physicians offer HIV testing to everyone between the ages of 15 and 65. AIDS education specialists and employees of the Schuylkill Medical Center say the fear of HIV has changed over time due to the easier treatment regimens and media coverage.
It's definitely normal to be afraid. It's not something that it should be taken lightly. It's definitely a serious disease. But the important thing is, if you get tested and find out that you happen to be positive, there are many resources available and great medication available. Today, the medicine is, in some cases, just a once-a-day treatment, so it's much easier to take it. And then because of that, people are living longer and healthier, more normal lives. And I think that takes away from again, some of the fear about HIV. So it's still out there. It's still something that we have to be concerned about. It's more manageable today than it used to be in the past.
Now, the Schuylkill Medical Center holds free testing every Wednesday. They encourage folks to get tested more routinely. And still ahead on News 13, the rain continues to fall into our weekend, but I'll tell you when there will be a ray of sunshine in News 13 weather. But first, they're probably crawling up out of the earth right now as they make their once every 17-year visit. We'll show you to them when News 13 continues. They've been underground waiting for 17 years, and if you haven't noticed them yet, you probably will. Christina Papa spoke to a local specialist today to find out what all the bugging noise is about.
It's quiet on the farm today, but all of that's about to change. They're big and noisy, but cicadas aren't looking to do anything but mate, so folks shouldn't be afraid of the bugs.
They're large and they're kind of scary looking. There's red eyes and they have red veins in the wings, and they're, to some people they kind of consider them to be kind of gross. Other people think they're pretty neat.
Horticulturalist John Esslinger says it's one of the biggest swarms of insects you'll ever see.
On that 17th year, they will pupate out as an adult. The adults will be out, and they should be coming out soon. We don't know exactly when they'll come out, but they'll come out soon, and it'll be interesting in that it's not like you'll see a few and then they'll gradually get to be more, as they'll all come out at once over a day or two.
But farmer Leonard Berger doesn't remember dealing with them in the past.
I got enough insects that affect the crops that those I never really followed very close or even remember ever seeing them.
Mr. Berger doesn't have to worry about cicadas this year feeding on crops in his fields. That's because the cicadas will be in the trees. Esslinger says the cicadas will stay in the woods for the most part. That's where the insects will lay their eggs.
The female lays her eggs in young twigs, and they will actually burrow into that twig, lay the eggs, and that does damage the twig and the tree a little bit.
The half-dollar-sized insects with wings aren't used to flying. That's why folks may call them a nuisance.
Clumsy flyers, because obviously they're only out as an adult for a few weeks every 17 years. They don't have a chance to get good at flying. So yeah, you'll see them run into houses and people's hair or whatever.
Esslinger says the big-eyed bugs only live around our area and will be gone in just a few weeks of their arrival, so folks should sit back and enjoy the sounds of summer while they can. Christina Papa, News 13, Hazleton.
Something to look forward to. Time now for our regional weather from the National Weather Service. Checking the radar. There you have it. Rain, nothing but rain. It seems the heavier stuff may be shifting a little bit to our east, but it's going to stay wet probably through late tomorrow. Creative condition takes us away to a sunny day at the beach. It's by Sebastian Middleton, a student at Arthur Street Elementary, and he's all ready to go swimming in the ocean. Now let's take a look at News 13 weather from the National Weather Service for Greater Hazleton for tonight. Rain, which could be heavy at times, low getting down to 57 degrees. Every Saturday, a chance of showers into the afternoon, then eventually they'll kind of dry up and it'll get cloudy with a high near 72. Nighttime low down to 58 degrees. Heading to Schuylkill County tonight, rain with a low around 58. And for Saturday, cloudy with a slight chance of showers, becoming sunny though as the day goes on, a high getting up to 76. Overnight low tomorrow night around 56 degrees. Well, it's not really an official holiday on the calendar, but maybe it ought to be. Hope you're enjoying this delicious early summer holiday because as Stephanie Gorney reports, this is National Donut Day.
Whether it's jelly-filled, chocolate frosted, topped with sprinkles, or just the classic glazed, everyone loves a good donut. And people are going nuts for the donuts today because June 7th is National Donut Day.
I like the variety. My favorite's the strawberry frosted and the French apple.
What is so good about donuts?
Nutritionally nothing, but everything else is great.
They're just yummy. It's a treat for everybody. It's a quick treat. It's a grab and go type of thing.
They're delicious.
This day was created back in 1938, and what better way to celebrate this 75-year-old holiday than by eating lots of the sugary treats. Donut shops all across the country like to use this day by offering many different deals to show their appreciation to their customers.
It's a way to give it back to all of our guests. Basically, America runs on Dunkin', Dunkin' runs on America, so this is a way of saying thank you.
And here at Dunkin' Donuts today, with any purchase of any beverage, you get a free donut. You came into Dunkin' Donuts today. Did you know about this deal?
I did not.
So what did you think about it?
Very excited. It was awesome.
What kind of donut did you get today?
Boston cream.
Not a clue.
So what did you think about it when you got your drink and they gave you the free donut?
I'm fat, so I got it.
I think it's like the most I've seen come through, and we've gone through thousands of donuts. It's crazy.
Even though they lack good nutritional value, people can't seem to be able to get enough of these sweet, fluffy treats.
The sweet tooth. Everybody has that sweet tooth, and they're soft and they're fresh. They're fresh every day.
Stephanie Gorney, News 13, Hazleton.
And let's check the winning midday lottery numbers. Good luck if you play. The daily 700, Big 4 3365, Quinto 96795, and the treasure hunt 19, 20, 22, 25, 30. Hope you won.
Good evening, everyone, and here's tonight's Talk of the Town report. First tonight, the Holy Rosary Parish will be holding a rummage sale Tuesday, June 11th from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. and Wednesday, June 12th from 9 a.m. to noon. Plenty of items will be available, and it will, of course, be handicap accessible. And finally tonight, St. Michael's Church in Shenandoah will be holding a healing service Sunday, June 9th at 3 p.m. For more information, give the church a call, 570-462-0809. That's tonight's Talk of the Town. News 13 would like to send sincere condolences to the family and friends of these recently departed. Dominic A. Cicadas of Hazleton. Mass is Saturday at 10 a.m. in the Queen of Heaven Parish at Our Lady of Grace Church. Friends may call Saturday from 9 to 10 a.m. The Firo Funeral Home is handling the arrangements. Evangelina Vostinas of Hazleton. Service will be private, but friends may call Friday from 6 to 8 p.m. at the Firo Funeral Home. David M. Harris of Hazleton. Arrangements will be announced by the Metcalf Shaver Kopska Funeral Home. Michael L. Bilkey of Dorrance Township. Funeral is Saturday at 9:15 a.m. from the McCune Funeral Home. Friends may call Friday from 5:30 to 8 p.m. And Thomas F. Landers of Freeland. Mass is Saturday at 10 a.m. in the Our Lady of Immaculate Conception Church. Arrangements are under the direction of the McNulty Funeral Home. Tonight's obituaries have been brought to you by the Smilax Floral Shop located on 15th Street in Hazleton. For delivery to all local funeral homes, call 570-454-0111. And by Mia's. Once again, the Hazleton area's #1 rated restaurant. Call 570-501-3410 for information on luncheon packages.
SSPTV Sports on News 13. with Fred Barletta Jr. and Ron Marchetti.
Well, a lot of people are focused on the national stuff, like the Miami Heat getting dumped yesterday. First game of the NBA Finals. We got the Belmont going on this weekend. The tricky triangle up at Pocono for NASCAR, so there's a lot going on. But you know what? There's a national story that involves a local. That's right. It's the NCAA men's and women's track and field championships. And our own Donald Pollitt is out in Eugene, Oregon, and he'll be in the finals tomorrow. That's right. That's because he had an outstanding performance yesterday, and the All-American, he finished 7th overall in the 110-meter hurdles on Thursday, and that automatically qualifies him for Saturday, tomorrow's championships, as we said, out in Eugene. Now, he did it in a personal best, 13.55 seconds. So that's not too bad. He was seated in the middle of the pack, 12th out of the 24 entries. And of course, if you finished 7th, you did much better than what your seed was. So that's really something nice to see. And we'll have to keep an eye on that. There'll be national TV coverage for that. And Donald Pollitt will get a chance. Of course, many of you remember that Pollitt was a 2-time state champ right here for the Hazleton area Cougars in the 110 hurdles. Scholastic-wise, he simply was one of the better athletes to ever come out of Hazleton area high school, and for that matter, Hazleton area in general. So we'll keep an eye on it. We're wishing him luck. Donald Pollitt going for the big-time stuff. Now, rain played havoc yesterday, as we were afraid it just might, but they did get a couple games in, and we can tell you which ones they did and what it sets up. What we've got right now is we got baseball Quad A. There you take a look. North Penn, Penn Ridge. That's a District 1 matchup. And Lower Dolphin in the lower half of the bracket. We're waiting to see out west. North Allegheny, Seneca Valley rained out. So that one will be played today. And then we'll be down to the Final Four. We need a lot to figure that out in AAA, because the only game they got in yesterday, West York defeated Holy Ghost Prep. And that means Tamaqua. Abington Heights did not happen today. Bloomsburg University, 4 o'clock. You've got Abington and Tamaqua. That should be an interesting one. On the AA level, same thing. The only one that got in, District 11 Salisbury advances by defeating Hughesville. We'll get the rest of it in today, hopefully, because again, the weather is going to be a little questionable. So let's just hope we get these games in. And finally, Single A, half the battle here. Canton and Old Forge advance. Old Forge, the District 2 champ, shut out Devon Prep. So the Old Forge Devils looking pretty good. Hopefully they can advance into the state championship. In the girls softball, remember that Daniel Boone team that knocked off the Lady Cougars earlier this week? Well, they got shut out. Neshaminy did that to them. Neshaminy, the District 1 number 2 school, 8-0 winners over Daniel Boone. So it's going to be an all District 1, that half of the bracket, because North Penn beat Central Bucks East, and down in the lower half, Perennial Power Pennsbury advance. So 3 of the 4 teams in the Quad A final are out of District 1. The more things stay the same, or more things change, I should say, they stay the same. District 1, I'm telling you. Anyhow, in the AAA, Nazareth Academy, they advanced. That's the only one there. Brandywine Heights and Holy Redeemer won yesterday, so they advance. So we'll wait and see. Rain playing havoc, as you see, lower half of the bracket. And as far as Single A, everything wiped out. They're going to try to get it in today. The plan, if they don't, will be to play them tomorrow.
Retired, over, and gone is the theme of this week's Short Shots. Hi, everybody. The Hazleton area Lady Cougars' tremendous softball campaign came to an end on Monday by the hands of Daniel Boone 4-1. But it has been a glorious season. The conference and district champions finished at 21-2. Kudos to the team, coaches, and all concerned, especially to Maria Trival-Peace and Becky Demko, who were selected as co-MVPs of the Wyoming Valley Conference, which is selected by the WBC Division I coaches. And speaking of sharing, 19 years ago in 1995, Jason Kidd and Grant Hill were co-winners of the Rookie of the Year award in the NBA. Well, this week both retired together, actually one day apart, from the NBA after 19 years. Both are 40 years old. Deacon Jones, remembered as one of the fearsome foursome of the Los Angeles Rams, died this week, which leaves Roosevelt Rosie Greer as the last surviving member of that all-pro group. Merlin Olsen and Lamar Lundy were the other members of that fearsome foursome. The Deacon was 74, Greer is 80. Also, services were held for the winningest quarterback in college football history earlier this week, Cullen Finnerly, who won over 50 games and 3 national championships at Green Valley State in Allendale, Michigan. He died mysteriously. His body was discovered late last week in the woods after he disappeared during a family trip. He was only 30. What else? More sad news. Ex-Umpires Union Chief Richie Phillips, the former head of the Major League Baseball Union, died. Phillips took over the union in 1978 and successfully fought for improved salaries and benefits until a failed bargaining strategy led to his dismissal in 1999. After 22 umpires were left unemployed, that episode prompted Phillips to sue baseball and the umpires to form another union without him, which is now the World Umpires Association. Phillips was 72. ESPN reported on Tuesday that Major League Baseball has ignited another investigation to attempt to suspend Alex Rodriguez, Ryan Braun, and about 20 or more other players who allegedly received performance-enhancing drugs. Mother of God, enough is enough. NASCAR driver Tony Stewart won the FedEx 400 in Dover, Delaware. The Denver Nuggets fired their coach, George Karl, and last night the Spurs beat the Heat to go up 1-0 in the NBA Finals. Finally, as I do so often, go out on a sad note. John Gallucci, who was an outstanding center on the Hazelton High School football team in 1971 and 72, passed away. The Cole man was 58. Our condolences to his family and friends. Till Monday, stay loose.
And plenty more news and information headed your way on News 13. We'll show you an incredible new surgical technique that's now available in Schuylkill County. That story and much more news when the 13 crew comes right back.